So we were rolling like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yes.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to Two Drinks.
Wait,
my headphones.
No, you already know, right? That clearly we've been a couple drinks in. We're not 2 drinks in anymore.
No.
We did that. It was great. This episode was lituations.
It was lit.
Was it not?
It was. And as we said before, we're doing it a little bit different. We're doing the episodes first, and then we're going to...
We're going to tell y'all while we're tipsy what we're finna be talking about later.
So when we say that we are a couple drinks in, we're more than 2 drinks in at this point.
Yeah, the bottle is gone.
It's gone.
Our cups are empty.
I have to share this at the end of the episode because everyone's done.
So we could cheers. We really did. It was a wonderful episode.
Because it's bad luck to cheers without like a drink, right? It's totally a bad luck, yeah.
It is.
Anyway,
it is.
The point is, this episode is going to be lit. We are going to be talking to Sam. Mm-hmm. She is fantastic. She's amazing. And you guys are going to love this conversation. Truly, truly, truly amazing stuff. Mm-hmm. We just had a knock in the middle of the recording. Is that okay? Okay, great. Continuing. So, we always going to we're going to have some laughs in this thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the conversation, like, honestly, what was really great to me about this conversation was like the diversity of it.
The diversity.
You know what I mean?
And the connection, between how, even though our individual experiences are unique, they're still so similar.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful when you get to observe that in like
really
lifetime.
Lifetime.
So I hope you guys enjoy. If you have not already, what you gotta do, Lauren?
You gotta smash that like button. You gotta click subscribe.
Hey!
And of course, you have to click on that notification bell.
So honestly, you want us in your email inbox. Come on. You want us in your email inbox. You don't want to like miss things.
Always.
Like, we know life gets busy sometimes. So have us in your inbox so you don't miss a thing.
You don't miss a thing.
You know what I'm saying? That Aerosmith. Come on.
Yeah. As always, guys, I am Lauren.
And I'm Jerri.
And I'm Ch'an.
And at this point,
we are all the drinks in.
We probably won't look like this when the episode starts, but we're going to the beach.
Okay, we're out
Maybe
here.
you guys will get some photos.
We outside.
Hey. But we outside.
We love you guys.
See
you soon.
Bye.
Or hi.
Hi.
So today with us, guys, we have Sam.
Hey.
We are so excited to have you here. Yes. So welcome.
Happy to be here, guys. A little sweet already, but
we all are. Only 2 drinks.
We are 2 drinks.
Only 2 drinks. That's all I
So
see,
it's
though.
only me that's been after 2 drinks.
No, me too. Clearly.
Wow.
I feel like we're also still like a little drunk from last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop coming to my house.
We need to stop coming to your house. Yes, we do.
Your mama, your aunts, horrible influences.
To be fair, though, we were celebrating. So
We were.
We have my grandma's birthday at the end of July, right? My dad's is the 3rd, and mine is the 6th.
So by the time this comes out, birthdays would have been passed. So happy birthday, Uncle Archie.
Happy birthday. And get this, so we're all doing the O's this year. So I'm going to be 30. My dad's going to be 60.
Oh, wow.
And my grandma just turned 80.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
like we
big.
just staggered that shit so impeccably. Ugh.
Yeah.
Milestone.
Come on, guys.
That's wonderful.
Breeding in perfect
How do you feel about turning 30, Mia? Yeah.
So as far as anybody knows outside of this episode, I'm 25.
Exactly.
I'm actually gonna get a balloon that says 25. Like, fuck it, let's go.
Well,
They don't need to know.
Because how am I 30? Like, how do we get here?
How?
No. You're not 30. See, now here's the math.
Exactly.
You're doing the math wrong.
Right. Hit me.
So you need to minus 2 years for the pandemic.
Correct.
Right.
So I'm 28.
Oh, we're
So
allowed to
28.
do that?
And then you have to minus another...
Oh, 3 technically.
Right. So 3 years for the pandemic.
So
Yeah.
27.
3.
Carry on.
27. And then you have to minus 2 years just because.
Just
regularly.
So 25.
So you are 25. Right.
I guess I'm 24 then.
Right? Exactly.
Hey,
There you go. Exactly.
Yes. What's your birthday?
March 26th, Aries.
Oh, you're almost a Taurus. Almost.
I am.
Almost a Taurus.
Almost. You already made it.
My best friend's birthday.
My mom's a Taurus.
Okay, when's her birthday?
May 14th.
No, that's Russell's birthday.
Cute.
I'm the 28th of April.
I see.
So I am a Taurus, loud and proud, as y'all can tell.
I love Tauruses.
Yes, right?
For sure.
My best friend's to Aries
Good
too. My
energies,
best friend, she's
though.
the 30th.
Yeah, man. I feel like we get along.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about you, Sam?
Okay, that's always awkward for me.
It
but
is.
I'll try. What can I say? So, I studied theater in Barbados for a long time. I was born in Queens, New York. I moved to Barbados in the year 2000.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like millennium, the new millennium. And I started, like, I went to St. Gabriel's and it was like a huge culture shock, but got used to it, obviously.
I
Grew
can
up
only
here.
imagine. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Wow.
yeah, like at first I couldn't understand what anybody was saying. I couldn't imagine. But, learned quickly.
Yeah.
Studied theater by the time I think like I got into it when I was like 13. So, and like with the ages between 13 and 16, I was studying theater, and then I just decided like to move back to America, and that was another culture shock.
I can imagine.
For sure.
Because
Yeah.
then you were cousins to Bajan. Like,
Yeah, I was
everything.
totally like used
Oh
to
my
Barbados.
God.
So going back was definitely a culture shock. And I've been there since then, since 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, like a hot minute. Oh my God, you were out there for 2011.
Yeah. So that's what, 11 years?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, man. So that's my story. I did, like, when I moved to America, I went to a couple acting conservatories. Like, man, I was so confident. I can't lie to y'all. Like,
She was like, I got this.
here, because I was doing so well here in like the theater world and stuff. I was like, yeah, like that's how it was. I was like, I'm just gonna be
Yes. Make way.
like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't need no degree. Like, I can just go
Yeah.
to a couple acting conservatories, and that's what I did for a few years. And then I tried like breaking the industry for a couple years. Like, I was an extra for like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 years on shows that y'all might to watch, like Orange is the New Black.
No, go watch that.
I was about to say, so that's not for you.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Finale of season 1. I'm there.
Season 1. Okay,
Yes.
we're narrowing it down.
You can see me. But it's tough, and but I realized too that I'm more passionate about writing, so I like kind of like switch focuses.
Yeah.
Focus there, and like I'm currently getting my bachelor's in literature.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Welcome to the
and-
party.
Yes, and I'm almost done, and it's been amazing. Yeah, my dream is to be like the next Issa Rae. Like, that is what I really want to do.
Done.
We love
Yes.
Issa over here.
Done.
I love her
Exactly.
too. I love her too. And like, I just want to create my own show and also be in it.
Yeah.
That is the dream, and I'm working towards it every day. Yeah, that's me. And I'm always in Barbados because I love Barbados. So
Yeah.
Done.
that's why I'm here.
No, girl, we love
That's
that
about
for
to be
you.
amazing.
Yes.
Especially like I can only imagine how like beautifully layered your writing will be because of all your experiences already. Because
Yeah.
just like that move from New York to Barbados and then going back and
Going back.
experiencing that. Oh my
yeah.
God. Like that has to be
It-
such an interesting place to write from already, just naturally.
It definitely informs my work and the things that I write. Like, right now I'm writing about my experience at acting school in New York. And yeah, like coming from Barbados and like experiencing casual racism
yeah.
in a way that I just did not experience it here, like was definitely an adjustment. But also like, I don't know, I felt like I did get good training too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a balance of
Yeah.
like, culture shock, and also being like, let me just take in
what you can, that's good.
exactly,
Yeah.
and just like hone my craft, you know.
I feel like that's a real interesting mindset too, to just even think about like the idea that like as Black people or minorities or whatever you want to like focus it in on as when you like communicate, but coming from that place and having to navigate spaces where you are not necessarily like the go-to most wanted thing.
Yeah.
And then also having to approach it with the mindset like, hey, I'm going to take what's good here. You know, because I feel like maybe other people don't have to necessarily do that. Like they just take all the information and like walk out.
Yeah.
But you have like such a
Definitely.
nuanced, you know.
I mean, like, I don't know, like my mom was like an apartheid activist and
What?
shit.
Pass. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Mom.
she, I don't know, I just always had that foundation like of, just being aware of the world and like, what my experience is and what my place is in it, you know? So
That's cool.
What is your
That
place in
doesn't
it?
that's a tough question.
Why hitting you with the heavy questions?
You said it. You said it.
Drank all
So
the
I was
drinks.
like-
yeah. But I guess
And maybe I shouldn't ask what is your place, but maybe I should ask more, where do you feel like you fit most comfortably?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better
I like that
representation
better,
of what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Not as tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough because like I can't like when I was living here and I was like doing theater here and doing like short films and things like that. Like I definitely felt myself. Like I can't lie to y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I felt seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that when I went to acting schools in New York, and New York is like supposed to be like a progressive
Yep.
Yeah, this
state.
kind of mecca
But
almost.
still, but still like that American like racism and history and all that like feeds into everything. So I did feel like, I don't know, like less seen, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I had teachers who didn't know where to place me, and like I was just getting like the bottom heap of the scripts because it was like, oh, like where do we place this Black girl with and I had dreadlocks at the time, so like this Black girl with dreadlocks, like where do we place her? So I guess like I was still trying to navigate that, and like I don't know, like all of a sudden, because I know we have racism here.
Yeah, we do.
It's very
It's
subtle.
just so subtle.
It's more
Yeah.
subtle, yeah.
So like to go to these schools and like people basically asking me things that if I came on a boat because
No, they did not.
oh yes, teachers,
Shut up.
sis. Like
Not teachers.
I'm not even talking peers. Like teachers were asking me things like that, and like if I washed my hair, and
Why do people like? Okay, please, people who do not have locks in the comments.
oh my gosh,
Why do you
please.
think that we don't wash our hair?
Why
we
is
probably
that
wash our
question?
hair more often than some of you do. To be
Hello.
frank,
That I was about to say,
Like-
one of the reasons I wouldn't get locks is because how much care
It's
y'all
a
have to
Exactly.
put into
It's
the locks.
extra.
otherwise they go a hot mess.
It
I
is
promise
so
you,
much
they go
work.
a hot mess.
Which is why I never got
Yeah.
them. Like, my
It's
mom has
so
had them
much.
since
Yeah.
I've been like super little, and
Like,
there's too much care that
right
goes
now,
into
I
washing
can wash
those
my hair in a
things.
whole week, and like the roots just like crying out for some love.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's how I felt.
It's so
like,
much work.
I hear me like a whole
And then
week.
it takes forever to
Exactly.
dry.
You know what
Dry.
I mean? And I know people who haven't washed like they actually wash their hair maybe twice a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot do that. I can't.
This is right here.
Yeah. And it's anyway, let me not get into it because I clearly I will get into my feelings on it.
Yeah.
I will get
Yes,
into my
I was
feelings.
definitely in mine because I was just like,
I would not handle that well.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, I was just like confused.
I do not have that
Yeah.
grace.
That's the truth.
But that's such a different experience, you know, coming from a place where, because the thing about Barbados is we have some really like racist situations happen here, but we are the majority Black country.
Exactly.
Right? The minority is white, right?
Exactly.
And other races, right? So we're a majority black country, but then when you go overseas to a country that, yes, they're supposed to be liberal, right? But the majority is still not black.
Yeah,
right.
Your authority figures
Exactly.
are white.
Yeah.
And then like my thing is the lack of education on the subject.
Yeah,
You know, like
I agree.
like there isn't a lot of education on where do black people come from, how are we here, you know, what is our culture, what is the society like, what are the things in the society that you do every single day that came from a black community, you know, like there isn't a lot of education on that, so that kind of very often slips under the carpet. And we're doing these things and we're not appreciating our blackness and the blackness of, you know,
and it's very casual.
Very casual.
Oh yeah, very casual.
And so just like subtle in a way that like you almost don't think about it or notice it. Like the segregation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the whole we're in tourism here.
You just
like you don't realize that like oh my god. So get this, and this is a real story, guys. I kid not. This is my little cousins. When my little cousins first came to live with me, right? I took them with me to, I think it was either Pricemark or Costules, and they saw their first ever white person. And I was like, I could not, like, my brain could not wrap itself around the fact that these kids had never seen a white person before.
But it's,
I was like, even in Barbados, like, white people are everywhere. Like,
but you don't see them.
Like, the little girl was like, oh my God, is something wrong with her skin? And I was like, I love that. She asked me in such like one of the most beautifully polite little ways. Like, it wasn't like how I said it. Like, let me not misrepresent my girl, right? But she came to me, she was like, Mia, is something wrong with her skin? Right, because she came to me quietly, like, you know, as like, because she didn't want to embarrass the person or whatever. And I was like, no, like, that's what color she's supposed to be. Because it was like, this is the reality, right? This is her shopping. And like, her older brother was like, you sure? Because, like, they would have seen somebody who had, like vitiligo or whatever. It's like, the thing with the regresses or whatever. So they would have seen that. So they're thinking, oh, like, maybe that's what that is. But the person has, like, everywhere.
Wow.
They wholeheartedly never seen a white person before. I did it in Barbados, and she was, I think, either 8 or 9 at the time, which means he would have been 11, 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is, no, I still can't get that on the stand. Like, how you live 11 years or 9 years and don't see a white person?
Do you see them? Like, on a regular, think about it. Like,
to be fair, I have private schooling.
I was about to say.
I went to St. Gabriel's
as well, so like.
I was about to say.
The Merlin.
Exactly.
No, we had one white person at our school at Eden Lodge.
Wow, that's crazy.
And like for me, I'm the opposite. I went to a private primary and a private secondary school. So I grew up with white people. I actually didn't. I think the first time I cognitively, because I don't want to say I experienced racism. The first time I cognitively understood racism was in secondary school.
That is so crazy.
When I understood that somebody was being treated differently to me, and maybe it was because of the color of the skin, right? Like because
bananas.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we in primary school running about with all these little cookies.
But in secondary school, I feel like we all had that table. Where at lunch, all the white kids sat at this one table by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely had that table at that small.
Yeah. We didn't have that because, and that's the difference between going to private school. The white people and the black people went to private primary school together. So we were all friends by the time we got to secondary school. Right. And like there were a few people that I went to Rock Christian. I didn't come from St. Angela's. Right? Yeah. So I went from Rock Christian to St. Ursula's. So I was one of the imports. But there were a lot of people who would have gone from St. Angela's to St. Ursula's, regardless of what they did, what their marks were, any of those things. We were just going to St. Ursula's.
Well, I think ours was different in the sense that we both kind of went to the private school at first, and then
the public school.
Oh, my mom was like, no, she could go to the regular school now.
Yeah, same.
Big out foundation, walking like, you okay?
Yep. Everybody let me know. Yeah.
We were here in the jungle, y'all. Like, it was madness.
Can I ask you something though, Lauren? Like, how do you get to see them a lot now? Like, Now that you're an adult, like children that you would have went to school with.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm still friends. Some of them I'm still friends with.
Yeah.
Others of them have left Barbados and gone overseas and are living overseas and stuff like that. And I find that's a lot of them. I find in my iteration of the white students and the high brown students and stuff like that, because we grew up together, the friends we were then, we're still the friends now. Like, I still see my peers who I went to school with. Yeah. And we still react and we still interact the same way. And they're still friends with the same people they were friends with. Yeah. And it wasn't, for me, I find, and in my year, I can only speak about me and my year because I'm not saying it was that before.
Yeah, because you can't speak for other people.
Right? But for me in my year, I find we were very integrated.
I love that.
And especially in my class, I remember times we used to get in trouble, the whole class. And the teacher would come in and be like, oh, you know how teachers just like to bully you, right? So who was it that did this? And everybody, I'd fall back who did what, and where everybody would sit down and be like, we don't know.
I love that.
We don't know. And like, I feel like from that age, we kind of grew a camaraderie. Yeah. That kind of has a little bit spilled over. A lot of people have gone far and wide, but I find when we get back together, it isn't as bad. Everybody who I went to school with, I think.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's genuinely beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of people have gone overseas though. Yeah. A lot of them have moved on and gone overseas and overseas living. So it's a little bit of a different situation. But I can't say that in my year, particularly in my year, that I have too much of that experience. Kind of. I mean, of course, you see all the little things. You see all the different ways in which you are different from them. Yeah. Right? But that's kind of societal. Yeah.
Versus them being...
And that's the issue that, like, I found that I had struggled with a little bit. Because if society has determined that somebody is worth more, right, because of the color of their skin, that's also not their fault.
Yeah, it's not on them.
No, there are things that they can't do. Right, in my mind, that will kind of even the playing field. Like, yes, being aware of the privilege. Yeah, but at the same time, if society gives me more privilege than it gives you, that's not necessarily. Like, I didn't do that, right? It's not. So then I also
kind of like what you do with it.
Yes, I also see the like a little bit of the discomfort between some people where it's like, oh well, society has given me this privilege, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do. How am I supposed to navigate it? Yeah, right. But for the most part, the people who I went to school with were lovely.
I love that.
Yeah, they genuinely are. Like, I can't lie on nobody. You know me. If they were chicks, I would say they were little shits.
You would say.
But they were genuinely lovely. Like, I really enjoyed my school experience.
That anybody wasn't lovely either.
Yeah, truthfully.
It's more... There's certain friends that I had that I still see and talk to and interact with on social media, but I can't there are certain people that I just haven't seen, and I don't think there's any reason for that other than just
moving to different circles.
In society and how the different circles move and interact and stuff like that. But yeah.
I mean, on one hand, you can argue about the idea of segregation and stuff like that, but I feel like regardless of race too, there's still always going to be some element of segregation because you always kind of create your own units regardless. Like even outside of because there's still people that we necessarily won't necessarily mesh with, and it's not because of their skin or any other thing like that. Like just we don't socialize with them, and that's just how that is. We don't vibe. Yeah. So at what point do we say, okay, well, this is because of this racial setup that has kind of shaped society in this particular way? And at what point do we say, okay, that's that one thing, and then this thing is just because we don't vibe with each other.
But then the other
so
question,
where does that happen? Yeah. You know what I mean?
The other question I have though, right, is that so in school we are not in control of all the other things. We don't think about where we live. We don't have any of this. We're kind of...
I had a friend and I did not know where they lived until we graduated.
Right?
And when I tell you we were like this...
So that's what I'm saying, right?
I was so confused.
At what point are we unequally yoked and are we equally yoked? Because there are some people, of course, now who would have started and who would have had the opportunity to go overseas and who would have had the opportunity to do X, Y, and Z because of the pockets of their parents and stuff like that. And there would have been other people who went to UE and who were in a certain situation because of the pockets of their parents and what their parents could have afforded. Yeah. And then their experience would have shaped who they became and like what friends you are, because let's not lie, your experience kind of shapes who you are. So at what point does that play a role in it, you know?
I don't know what the impetus is behind all of it. I just feel like, and it's weird because I have experienced both, but I have literally experienced being like called the N-word. Yeah. You know what I mean? With a hard R, like. So it's like,
what do you do then? Do I just fight?
Do we just throw hands?
I was just
I was thinking, because I always thought like I would be really upset and I would want to throw hands, but then I was like, no, you're finna be in shock.
You're gonna be in shock. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what?
So, but like at the same time, I do feel like, I hear what you're saying, but I do feel like in a 90-something% Black country, I do feel like there's something that there's a decision that they're purposely making in
to separate themselves.
Because I don't know, like, who are you to say that you want vibe?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, maybe we could all get along and could all walk in these same circles, but I feel like it's a conscious choice that in some ways some people in this society are making.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just feel like it's deep and it probably just
ingrained.
Historically ingrained.
So too, because like I feel like at this point, like my family has some really great white friends, and like it doesn't even register like per se that, hey, okay, like these is like white people that having like different experiences, blah, blah, blah. Because when they tell you like they be out here rolling deep with us, no, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, what's so different about my life experience that is, you know, that makes me have to be so different from you? Like, you know, like you going through the same pandemic I going through, like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, shit happening. So anyway, but it's really interesting that you would experience that in the theater world. And especially that transitional phase between the two. So
I may prefer the overt racism to the kind of hidden diet racism. I think that's what you call it, Jerri.
Very racism. In the background.
That's what I like to call it. I guess for me, like, because I've experienced both, the non-diet racism is like, I would just say like is scarier. Like that's my perspective. Like I usually have my thoughts of like, like, you know, like what we were talking about earlier about like how I have to go to specific spaces sometimes to see like, even like my like white friends I went to school with, like I see them, like if I decide to go to Harbor Lakes, like I will see them, but like there's a lot of places that I move around in this society where I don't even run into them. But and that's like, I guess like a circumstance on its own, like that you have to like look at and reflect. Like, what's that about? But I don't know, I've had experiences in America that made me literally fear for my life. And that's why I feel like it's a little worse, or like I prefer how things are here.
Have you ever had to like interact with the police?
Oh yes. About a year ago.
Oh, so, like, recent and fresh.
So fresh. Oh. So like a year ago, it's my brother's birthday, and we had a good day. We went to dinner. We like was drinking in the neighborhood, stuff like that. And we were literally on my block, just driving on the block, and my cousin was in the backseat. He's 19 or 20, and all he did was like look at a cop. Like there was a cop car, and he like looked at them like with locked eyes, and they decided that was enough for us to be like suspicious as a group. I guess my brother was driving. He was driving a rental at the time. And they pulled us over. And it was really scary. Like, I can't lie. Like, they made us get out of the car. They pat us down. And at first, it was like 3 officers. And all of a sudden, like, another squad car pulls up. And, like, literally 6 police officers get out. So, like, all of a sudden, we're surrounded.
6?
All of a sudden, so it's 3 people, me, my brother, my cousin. And we're all surrounded with, like, 9 cops. And for doing nothing. Like,
all this for one car.
Find that disproportionate. Like, at no point in their brains were they like, this is making sense.
Like, no broken taillight. Like, my brother was literally just dropping me home because it was like, I'm over this. I'm done. Ready to go home.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, they pat us down, asked us for IDs. There were so many cops around us. Like, it was really scary. And I was just like, am I going to die tonight? And my apartment building was, like, in my vision.
Yeah.
So I was kind of
my God.
Looking out my bedroom window and just being like, I just need to
get from here to there.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was just scary. It was just like, and I remember the next day I actually went to the Jersey Shore with like my white friend. We went to her family beach house. And I remember telling her about it, and like she's like telling me she's never experienced that before. And this was not my first time experiencing this, so you know, it's like, you know, she was very like empathetic and like apologetic and stuff, but like you could tell like just from speaking to her, like I could tell that like that is not something that she's personally used to experiencing.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh wow, like, you know, just three Black people driving, and that for some reason is suspicious. And we asked them like, why are there 9 cops surrounding our car right now? And they were like, oh well, it was, sorry, I apologize, it was 2 cops at first. So they were like, there were 2 of us and only 3 of you. So they felt safer calling for backup. And I was just like, you know, like when you know you and you know your family and you know like we're not
like we're not those
we're not
guys.
involved in nothing. So it's like, why do you feel you need to get 6 more cops?
Yeah,
that says we're threatening.
You're armed and we're not.
Right?
Exactly.
We're the threat here. Like, you know what I mean?
3 random little kids, basically.
That's how it felt. So like,
she'd be looking like a teenager.
exactly.
So basically, 3 random kids. 3 random kids in this car, and they got 6 officers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And like,
that's crazy.
It was so scary. Like, I can't lie to you. I was just trying to be polite. Like, I know it's messed up. Like,
no.
Because obviously you want to defend yourself because there's no reason for this. But like, at the same time, it was
you don't want to die.
Back of your head,
You want to
like,
live.
make it out alive.
You're going to see tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Floyd, like, you're remembering all that shit. That's in your head. Oh my God. I cannot
things
imagine
like
that
that.
getting like that.
And it's just more over in America. Like I work in childcare. And that's like a little broad. Like sometimes I'm a nanny, sometimes I'm tutoring, sometimes I facilitate birthday parties for kids. Like, and I remember working a birthday party with 2 other girls, and they were both white. And I was the only one. Like a woman came up to me and asked me like why I was there, and like what my purpose was, and it was just like questioning me, and my co-workers weren't questioned. So it's just like little things like that occur far more often than in Barbados. Like I can almost say like I don't really experience those things here. So
Yeah.
when those things
no one
happen
ever
to me,
asked me where it was.
exactly, like I'm just here doing my job, hosting the party, making sure the kids have pizza or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm out of place.
Yeah.
And I'm seen as a threat in this space, this private space, you know?
Yeah.
And I've had so many experiences like that, I've just been like, every time it happens, I'm just like, okay, how do I navigate this? How do I, you know, without being the stereotype that they might think I
exactly.
am. You know what I mean? Like,
Because you can't be the angry black woman either.
Oh,
exactly. So it's like, for me, it's always like, how do I navigate when these things come up? You know?
How is that for you in the acting world? Because we see, and I mean, there's a recent one that happened, and you know I'm a big Grace fan.
Hello.
Me too.
Right?
Right. We watched all that.
So I'm not sure if you saw
Are you
about
up to
the
date
new
yet?
Nah.
Come on, catch up.
I do.
But carry on.
But there's a new character, one of the new interns that Shonda Rhimes wrote in. I love you, Shonda. Whenever you see this.
Love Shonda too.
Right? So she's written in a Bajan.
Oh.
Yes, there's a Bajan white.
I read this.
Yes.
White.
He's a Bajan white. No, I said a Bajan white.
You know what that
He
means?
is.
Like,
There's a
Right.
huge difference.
he's
because
mixed up.
he is, right? Yes, he's mixed up. And he left Barbados apparently when he was
don't know it,
15
though.
years old.
He don't know he
He
made
went
it.
to the
know
UK.
you don't know.
So I'm not saying that he didn't work hard to get where he is now, because from reading his little backstory, he went overseas.
Yeah.
He did some work with Disney, and then he was in another show, and he was casted for one of the interns.
Right.
Right. But I mean, having the discussion we're having, it just kind of reminds me of a little bit of your story. I mean, you left Barbados at a young age. You did all the conservatories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what's acting like for you as a Bajan
Like, how has it been trying to break
That's
into
a
the
good question.
industry?
breaking into the industry?
For starters, I will say casting lists. I felt like they weren't looking for someone that looked like me. Like most of the time, like majority of the time, I would just be like scrolling, like, and like I'm not gonna lie, like most of it is like gonna be like Caucasian. You're scrolling through these casting lists, and you're like, okay, where do I fit into this? So, and I guess like you guys can probably like look at television shows and movies and see that reflected.
It's true.
See that the majority of the actors that are playing these roles look a certain way.
Yeah.
So like
There's like 6 black actors right now.
Right?
exactly.
And when we do see ourselves, it's because we're watching a black TV show.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. So like for
very true.
that reason, it's a bit difficult. Like I have it's been hard for me to like even find things to like just submit myself to, because they're not. I felt like they weren't looking for me, and that's actually part of the reason why I got rid of my dreads, because like that made it even harder. Having dreadlocks and just
They're not as versatile.
They're not.
Yeah.
I completely understand that, because even for me styling them, I get it. I get it. But that's so sad.
It is sad. And I had that experience in acting school, like in the conservatories, like, you know, I remember in one class the teacher wanted to do like something that was from the 50s or 60s.
Oh God! So you can't be there. You can't be there.
There you go.
You can't be
And
there.
you know, like obviously like dreadlocks started becoming a thing, like a fashionable thing in like
much
the 80s.
later. Yeah.
So like every time my class was doing anything like that, like the teachers were very much like, we don't know how to place you.
Yeah.
And I would just be like,
Here's
why
a
does
wig.
that matter? Like
Yeah, it's just
in their
hair.
role. It's just hair, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been tough, but I've done things that I'm proud of. I can't lie. I've been featured. I can look back at TV shows and be like, that's me. I have featured time, da da da.
That's
But like,
cool.
but yeah, it's been a bit hard, and a lot of people don't know too that the industry is set up. I mean, it's set up like any industry really, where nepotism is.
Yep. It's
The number one
Yeah.
key.
It
to
is
getting
king.
through the door.
Yeah.
And I obviously don't know anybody in the industry. So
For now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can speak that for
guys,
you.
that
Yes.
Okay, if you're
Listen to
speaking
this.
that
We're gonna be
that
looking
is
back
for
at
now.
this.
Okay.
And this could be our number one.
You know what?
watch episode, because Sam is gonna be on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah.
Or
I'm
one
getting-
of those big
you know what I
shows,
mean? Like,
you know,
find more
starring.
Shonda's gonna write a show for her.
Yeah, Shonda.
She's gonna meet Issa.
Yes, my
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god, you and Issa are gonna write a new show. That's it.
Exactly.
But that's why too. Like I don't know if that's way like what inspired my shift to writing as well, because I've always been a writer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would have known this about a foundation.
I did not. I was shook.
Yeah, I used to like write. I was always writing things, and I would like just hand them around. Mostly in my year though. That's probably, like,
that's where I missed out.
but like in my year, I was just like handing around.
Yeah.
And they would like, this person was done, they pass it to someone. So that writing thing was always there. But after like people like Issa and like Lena Waithe and like Kenya Barris, like I'm watching these people create spaces that Hollywood is not creating for them.
It's like, you're not gonna make it, I'll make it.
Exactly. So they're inspirations to me. Like I'm like, yeah, I can use my writing and my training to create the roles and the stories that I want to tell for Black people.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's my focus right now, because I did spend years like trying to break the industry and feeling discouraged because
they didn't have a space for
you.
you.
It felt like it either felt like there was no space for me, or to get in that room, I don't know, I had to have a specific qualifications. Like I have to be in the union, or I need to know somebody, and that's just obviously not my background. So
yeah. Well, I'm excited to actually like tune in and actually like see where this goes for you, because like it feels like now you have a different perspective, a different way to approach it, and I feel like that's going to do something for you. Yeah. Sure. I put it out there because
I feel it too. I agree with you 100%. I feel like she's going to create, like even you're writing your own space in, you know. I find a lot of the Black and colored persons in the industry, that's what they had to do, and they're doing great doing it.
And they're doing it.
Yeah,
they are doing it.
And before these people were doing it, I didn't know it was possible.
Yep.
So
so you're gonna do it for all the Bajan Yankees out there.
Listen to me. I want to be I know shit. The whole time. Watch.
Yes, that's coming.
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions, and I'm real sorry.
Oh dear.
I apologize.
Wait, hold on. Let me
My first question is, I can ask this question first because this is going to be the longer one. My first question is, what did you think about Bridgerton? Because the conversation I've been having with a lot of persons is some of the persons in my life did not like the fact that...
She's talking about Russell.
We're not trying to call the boy.
Not your old teddy poor man.
She's talking about the fiance here.
Hello.
There is some sort of historical misrepresentation, right?
Yeah.
With Bridgerton. Because clearly in that time...
There's a whole Black queen.
There
was though.
But that's what I keep trying to tell people, right? But the role Black people played
like
in society
thing.
was not how it you know.
There
but
was
Shonda
and ladies.
not that were Black though. There were no Black dudes. But Shonda believes in colorblind casting and believes in casting the best person for the job.
The personality, yeah.
You know, it's not about the color of your skin, it's about who brings the best
this character
to the role. To the role. Right? And I love Shonda for that. Of course, y'all already know that I'm a Shonda Rhimes fan.
We do.
We are.
Right? Shonda can tell me she want anything, she can get it from me.
Correct.
Inspiration for me.
I'm not even having the first bomb, but you can have mine.
My first and my second one, if you want. I love Shonda. I'm a big Rhimes fan. I'm a big Rhimes. So, like, for me, I love it. Right? Yeah. Because to me, unless you're trying to do a historically accurate representation of something, right? Like if you're doing a fictional series,
which is a whole other energy anyway.
Which is If you're doing a fictional series, you can have whoever you want to have in the show.
Create an ideal world.
Yes, I feel that it brings to light the fact that, like black people and people of color and different races and ethnicities can merge, and it kind of brings everybody to the forefront without being like so obnoxious and so thin.
That's what I was about to say.
Right?
It's the casualness of Bridgerton that I really enjoyed. So, like, for me, I wouldn't necessarily say that the acting was my favorite part because it really wasn't. Right?
It was hard for me to get past.
Right? But, like, observing the naturalness and the casualness of watching black people integrate into the upper crust of society like that.
Royal.
Right? Like, you're watching a black queen sit down and chill and be every bit a black woman, by the way, because like her being all up in the gossip mics and being like, oh, okay, no hair, like
the hair was
that's very much black culture all the true. You know what I mean? Like that's us 1000%, right? But then also being able to see that in a setting where it isn't necessarily like something that we understand to be true of ourselves was very interesting. You know, and having it be so casual, like it's the casualness of it. It was like we're not making this up. This is a thing that could be tomorrow. You know, almost like it felt like, even though you know it's not an actual accurate historical representation of like the time period, and like there wasn't all these black lords and ladies walking about the place in this garden. It wasn't happening. Like in your head, like it clearly could have been.
Yes. And then the most accurate, the person that she picked to be the best person of the season. I'm trying to think of the word for season's pinnacle. Thank you. The diamond of the season was a white girl.
Yes.
Right? And she fell in love with the most eligible black, the eligible bachelor.
Can we talk about that?
Blonde, blue
eyes, right? Fell in love with a black man who was the most eligible bachelor, right? And to see that romance, and to see how they wove the story,
it was beautiful. It was very
beautiful,
cute.
and you know, and
I didn't tell y'all maybe on your own in this. I did not actually love Bridgerton.
I
thought it was okay. I'm sorry. I live for the fashion. I live for the hair.
I'm waiting for my
storyline for me was just
to be like, guys, I haven't
sex
seen
stories.
You haven't seen it?
No, it was too much.
I've seen like an episode.
I'm sorry. We agree, but I am not. We did not love it.
Okay, guys, we're all gonna watch it again with Sam. Okay, we're gonna all watch it again with Sam.
Bridgerton.
We're not watching it again. Once was enough.
Yeah.
But just from the outside looking in, I was definitely like, I love what Shonda Rhimes is doing.
Yeah.
I know about Queen Victoria, so I was like,
that part for me was great. I love the fashion. I loved all of the other things, but for me, it didn't come together as a whole as far as the storyline. It was very, very like all over the place for me. I didn't love it.
I get that.
All the storylines of back then are all over the place.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, definitely
not true. There's some that I really, really loved, but Bridgerton was not one of them for me.
We're talking about actual storylines from that time period. We're talking about the actual history. Like the royals are batshit, bro.
They really are.
They are the messiest people on the planet.
I watched and read other period pieces that I really, really loved. And Bridgerton was just not one of them.
You know how like the queen be having like family members that are in insane asylums that are like wholeheartedly alive, but they have them registered as dead.
That's a real thing.
They are messy. They are messy people. Like they have this whole thing where I'm going to present the best side of myself, and you're not going to see anything else.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Like if this does not go according to what the monarchy wants, then it does not exist.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
But it does. And we know your truth. Okay? We know your truth, boo. We have people who be snitching on y'all. We have reporters who be checking.
But what's the movie? What's the series called with the royals?
The Crown?
The Crown.
I enjoyed so much more. Bridgerton just was not it for me. I'm sorry.
But that's because, again, you're looking at something that is trying to be true to the story, right? Versus something that is trying to create a fictional space where...
But I love fictional... I love other fictional stories.
But I think because it was a time period piece, you were still looking for more realism.
No, Avery can say... He can tell you that I love period pieces. I don't care if it's fictional or not. But Bridgerton for me
I feel like you cannot like Bridgerton. If you do not like Bridgerton because they have black people in it, then I have a problem.
That's a problem with you.
The black people, because you can have your own opinion. You can
because they were the sexiest ones.
Not gonna lie.
They really were.
They were giving
You can not like something. Like, you don't have to like all the same things. We're different. We're individuals. I'm not gonna like the same things you like. You're not gonna like the same things I like.
That's true.
If the reason you don't like it is because it's not historically accurate because there are black people in it, I have a problem.
Yeah, I can see
that's my issue. My issue is not you not liking it. Like, your taste is your taste, my taste is my taste.
Yeah.
And it's written a certain way. Shonda writes in a certain way for her wonderful group of fans.
Yeah.
She does. She writes for us. She doesn't write for everybody. She writes for us. Shonda writes for us.
She really does.
And Shonda's whole team of writers, because we all know it's not all Shonda.
Yeah.
Her whole team of writers, they write for us.
They got yourselves, team members.
Yeah, they got yourself.
Because honestly, I have no idea who is on that team, but I love
Brilliant
all of y'all.
team.
Like, I love all y'all.
Sam
She does a lot for
Sam will be on that soon,
diversity.
Shonda.
Right?
Hey.
Call Sam. She be writing.
I just wanted to say that I'm just here for the representation. Like,
Yes.
as an avid, like, growing up, I was an avid reader and an avid watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot, I just felt like I grew up a lot not seeing myself.
Yes.
So, not like reading and not seeing myself in books, like none of it. So, I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the black Little Mermaid. I'm here for the Black Stormtrooper. I'm here for all of it. Like, I just want to see us more.
You know what really sold Grey's Anatomy for me? Richard Webber.
I'm Miranda fucking Bailey.
Period.
Here's why, right? Because
I love
as a kid, right? As much as I grew up in Barbados and I've been to the doctor and I've seen black doctors, that my physicians, like, for all my physicians have been black doctors, right?
Get to Dr.
Based
Daniels.
like, on TV.
On TV, I have never seen a black doctor. I can't remember a black doctor that I've seen, especially not one who is the chief.
Yeah.
The chief of surgery.
The chief of anything.
Period.
Yeah.
So, like,
I've never seen one in charge of teaching a whole host of students. I've never seen one in charge of handling a ER room. I've never seen one in charge of anything like that. So to see somebody be in a position where they are not only teaching the future of medicine, but they are also
empowered and the best at what they do.
Empowered and literally the best. Like, people was trying to be in this program. Like, which is like bananas where we're at right now. But let's not talk about that because no spoilers.
No spoilers.
she's not caught up.
I'm very caught up.
Yeah, girl. So no spoilers.
I got a few more episodes.
I've rewatched Grey's twice, and
this
then
is
still caught up.
Like, it was like a fever dream. Like, it was like insane to be able to see this. And and I really appreciate it. Like, that's why I sit down and watch all the other Shonda Rhimes shows. Like, I never really got into Scandal and all those, but like,
I got into all of them because I just love her and I love that she is
brilliant.
I love the representation of her.
Exactly.
And I love what she has done for our culture.
And
I can't wait to see you doing the big things that you will do. I can't wait till this episode blows up because you're going to be there.
Because we're going to get some views on
We're going to be like, we got her here first.
Yes.
2 drinks in.
Get some views on Sam.
Guys, I am on a
Pay
first
attention
date
to Sam
basis
Patrick.
with Paul Bettany, okay?
That's what
I'm trying to like work up to giving him my scripts, like, and be like,
don't worry. I'm telling you, 2022,
Girl, take your time and do it right. That's all I'm saying.
It's the year.
Like I said, the networking is seems to me to be the key. So
Yes,
these people are in my space right now. Like,
Yes.
let me just see how I can.
Exactly.
And I want you to know,
Navigate
right,
it.
that you don't have to rush nothing.
That's true too.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
You don't have to rush anything. Okay?
Because
you don't need to be arriving
like,
tomorrow.
You
don't have to be arriving
turning 30
yesterday.
next year.
No.
What are you doing?
No.
Yeah.
Because if anybody could, if and there's so many examples of it, and I have to remind myself of this the other day, girl. There's so many examples of people arriving, right? Past the date that people have been talking about.
Yeah.
Right? That at this point, that date don't matter no more.
Exactly.
So fuck that date.
Exactly.
Fuck it. Put it in your fucking bucket and just kick it down the hill. Kick it all the way down the hill. Let it get as far away from you as possible so that when you walk into that room, you are settled in yourself. Because you deserve, you're working.
I love this.
You're doing the work.
It just gets some
ready
goosebumps,
for
boy.
So long, like, it's be like
Exactly. You're working. You're doing the things.
You're
okay?
doing it.
You're doing it. You're doing the classes. You are doing the things.
Yes. Know that when you arrive, you are meant to be there at the moment that you are there.
And actually take time out to appreciate where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
How far you've gotten.
She be kicking my ass.
Because we
far
get so
you've
caught up
gotten.
in being like, okay, I need to be here.
I just want to say you too, Ch'an, because
Lauren wholeheartedly be having to put me back all the time because
you are incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
I just be like,
She
why
is.
am I not watching? Why am I not going on a tour
Yo.
to see you?
Yeah.
Like, you're just too fucking good.
Yeah.
Girl, everything in its time.
You know, we can't
And I
remember
remember
everything.
that.
It's time.
And then listen to me, right? On this new project that I'm working on, like literally I wrote a song specifically for that because you can ask Lauren because I be calling Lauren when I like. Cause I know Jerri can tell me to pull myself together and stop talking straight. Right? So I call Lauren. Cause Lauren can tell me it nice, right?
Yeah.
Who's got right?
You're going to know which friends to call. Which friends to call for what?
We scared to get up for that yet, Jerri. Don't tell me that. But like on the reals though, like Lauren's gotta be wholeheartedly telling me like, yeah, just breathe. Like everything's okay. Like you are where you're supposed to be right now, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I tell you that it's, and I know you understand what I'm saying, it's difficult as an artist, especially when you're looking at TV and you're seeing all these other people who are 20 and 19 and 18 and 17 and 15.
And they
are bursting into these things.
Yeah.
And you've been working at it for the amount of time they've been alive. Right?
Oh, yes.
And it's like, holy crap, like, why am I still here grinding? And
Right.
they haven't even been, they didn't see a star pitch and they're in this thing, you know? Like it's hard to watch that and not feel like you are failing.
Yes.
Right? So you gotta be like, but you know you do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And you know you get treated all differently. Like it ain't look like that, but it look like this, which is dope. You know what I
only
mean?
feeling when you're comparing yourself to somebody else.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say get you a Lauren, get you a Jerri, okay?
And you can have Jerri. Well, you already got it.
Right? Get you a Lauren and a Jerri. Because Jerri's
like
telling me
that
to. Jerri's be
sometimes.
like, but you know that. You know that. You can do it. Like, you know that.
Jerri is the person who pulls you all together. You need a friend to pull you together. Call Jerri. You see when you need to pull it together? Mom.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. You doing it already.
No, yeah.
You know who you are.
Though, because you accomplish things and they're pretty great.
That's
but
Jerri.
like, you can't help but like
Jerri.
people who like
That is Jerri.
make bigger
Jerri right
accomplishments,
there.
you know? So like I completely understand.
Like that. I feel you, sis. I feel
Something
you.
crazy.
Hit me.
So I recently, this was in 2017, I recently discovered that I have a half brother who is a working actor in the industry.
Really?
Like, he's been on The Get Down.
I love that
Legion.
show.
Really?
I mean, like, he's working, and that was like,
ooh.
that was a little hard for me because I was like, we literally share DNA.
Yeah.
And like, look at you out there, like,
Doing all the
making
things.
it.
Is
And
he
I'm
older or
still
younger?
grinding, you know? He's older. But yeah, so it's hard, but like, you're right about like having people in your circles to be like, but you did this. Like,
Yeah.
shoot, like I wrote a play that ended up on the BBC website.
Exactly.
What? And I forget that because like for me that is not as big as
Huge.
First
being
of
on
all,
TV.
you got me shook. Like I got goosebumps.
What to say?
I have goosebumps. What do you mean?
But it just feels like
You
because
gotta
it didn't
step.
impact my life
Yeah.
or change my life in like a major way. I tend to like rush
To you.
off.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You have to step outside of yourself
Yeah.
and
To you,
look at
that's on
yourself.
that's
Yes.
on your resume, no sis.
Exactly. But it's
Exactly.
No one can take it away from you.
Exactly. You did that. That was yours. Your
Exactly.
creation
Yeah.
was there, and it impacted people. And that's the thing. It
That's the
impacted
thing.
people.
Mm-hmm.
People that you can't even imagine that it impacted. You impacted. You changed people's lives. You know, you did something that shifted the way somebody thought about something.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that was all you.
And that is beautiful.
You know,
and
that's-
it's also completely insane.
It is.
Because you sitting down thinking, okay, I did this thing, and you moved on with your
But I'm
life.
still like,
Yeah.
it's
But
not enough
somebody
because
is still reading that today. Somebody,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna read that tomorrow and be like, "Whoa,"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So just remember that, like
Yeah.
your art,
You
your art is. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? Like,
like
you did that shit yesterday, right? And you moved on from it. But somebody's being introduced to it tomorrow.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So the impact of these things is eternal. Like every time we create a piece and we release it to the world, like we are giving them something that is eternal, that lives beyond us. So regardless of how you feel in that moment, like, this thing is eternal. This thing is, you know what I mean? Like, how you feel to know that I got a piece that you made like ages ago.
Exactly.
You know
Not great.
But that when you put on the piece, you feel like the baddest bitch in the room.
Exactly.
Like, change your girl's life.
It'd be like, let me tell you, right? It doesn't even have my titties out, but I'd be feeling like I'm serving titties.
Yeah.
Listen to me, I'd be feeling like I'm serving waist wear. Okay?
Yeah.
I'd be serving body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that girl. I don't have a million curves, but I feel like I have a million curves in this dress. She made this dress in 5 seconds several years ago.
That's amazing.
And it still continues to this day. And that's I just show you like the longevity of something.
Of things that you do.
Like, you put maybe, I didn't want to lay on you, like maybe a couple hours of your life into that dress, right? But that dress is lift me up on days when I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I put on that dress when I can't find nothing else in my closet that's make me feel like I can feel good today. I just put on that dress for that. And that's something you made in like you know, like a small
I think that's what art is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue.
This right here. Like, oh no, you see this now? This might go through shit.
Don't get me started on Lauren.
I have things like I have
to get everything.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, like the coasters and this trend, that we got everything all over. But I would have tried to easily go.
As creatives, like, you just know what talent you have. And it's just
because you understand the magnitude of what it can do and the impact it can have. And you're thinking it has to be doing that every day, all day, but it doesn't. It doesn't have to do that. It has to do that for one person to be successful. Just one.
That's the mentality.
And I would like to interject there and say, right, it's us who are judging it and say it doesn't do that every day, all day. Because at the end of the day,
we don't know.
When you put on your dress, how do you feel? And when I put on my dress, how do I feel? So like at every point in the day, there is somebody who is evolving and somebody who is feeling special because of this art that you produce. Whether it's the song that you wrote, whether it's the play that you wrote, whether it's that 5 seconds where somebody saw you in a feature film, right? Or it's the 2 minutes that you did your you know, and you spoke your speech and you said what you had to say in a film, right? When people look at you and be like, oh my God, look at her beautiful black skin, and she's representing and she is there, and all those little girls and all those teenage girls and all those 50-year-old girls,
she looks like me.
all those 50-year-old people who are looking back and being like, oh shoot, this is what I wanted to do. I've seen her doing it. I can go back and do it. All those people that you inspired.
You are somebody's Issa.
Yes, you are.
You're being somebody's Issa. And it might not feel like that, but you are being somebody's Issa.
At every level of it.
That's like what I have to remember to hold on to. As
don't worry,
keep trucking forward.
Every single one of us at this thing, all of us need to remember that. Trust me.
We do.
Trust me. I'm sure Jerri ready to be like selling all the international stores. I'm sure she's ready for that. I'm sure Lauren ready to be selling all the international stores too. I'm sure about it. Like she ready to be on somebody's big committee doing all the things for somebody's industry. Like. And I definitely ready to be on the people's stage. And I'm doing ready to be on the people's stage. We're ready to go there yesterday.
We're ready. We're trained. We got talent.
Exactly. It doesn't negate what we've already done, though. It doesn't. It doesn't.
And what we're
diminish
currently doing.
Part of it. Yeah. Wow. We gotta remember that. I can go watch. I can go pin this episode to remember this.
I was about to say.
Can we make this like a quick shot as well, so that I don't have to watch the whole
come back and watch this.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Oh my God.
Emery's been doing this a lot.
Yes.
We know that we've got a lot of time.
Sam, we have to try again.
What?
Oh my God.
Don't even ask him at this point.
Don't ask the time. They don't want to know.
It was so good to be here.
Sure.
I was like, wait, this is
you got pour some in here too.
Oh shit.
a drink. Yes. It was so wonderful being here with you, Sam. I love you. We all love you. It's always a pleasure to be connected.
So amazing to reconnect. It really is. Oh my gosh. You need to like call me every time you come here or something. Like message me something. Okay,
definitely do that.
Number, okay,
please.
Right.
And we will see you back here in November because big things are happening. It was so good being here.
Exactly. We have plans.
It was so good being here with you today. We love you.
Somehow we made it all to the end. We real well because we didn't tell the people to like, subscribe, and all that.
Oh yeah.
And
you know what you have to do. You
do
have
all
to
the things.
Smash that like button.
So like that.
Hit subscribe.
Come on, hit it.
And click on that notification bell.
What? Girl, you better.
We all are.
And please put in the comment section your tips thought of the day.
Always.
Because if you are not having a drink or two while you're watching this show, you are doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
And we're telling you that you got imbibe in an alcoholic beverage. You can drink something nice that suit you. You know what I mean?
You know?
There's other ways to elevate yourself.
Also, we made a baby this last night, and there will be videos because we will be using those videos.
Bring cameras to make functions.
We'll be using those videos, so you will be seeing what they were doing last night.
They love to snitch on me, girl. Oh,
we had a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun.
But anyway, guys, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jerri.
I'm Ch'an.
And I'm Sam. Hey.
And guess where we are? We are two drinks in. Woo!
Good God.